Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the works of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. 120 residents from several communities in Region 6 each received 20 Black Giant chickens to help them become self-sufficient and increase their poultry output.
We are already self-sufficient in producing all the poultry needs. What we are doing now, we want to be a net exporter. We want to produce more so that we can export in the Caribbean. In the agriculture sector, we are seeing rapid development taking place.
While increasing food production in the agriculture sector is in line with plans to be sustainable and resilient, the biofortified rice variety with nutritionally enhanced zinc, which is anticipated to provide farmers and Guyana with enormous relief, was harvested on Saturday.
We are launching a variety of rice that will shortly become an official variety for farmers in our country so that they can cultivate it. And this variety that we are launching here today is a variety that will attract preferential price. Our preferential prices around the region and different parts of the world.
The national cleanup campaigns are organized to preserve Guyana's pristine environment and boost tourism. This was emphasized by Minister Mustafa during a cleanup activity in Region 5.
We have to ensure that we keep our country clean like developed countries. Our country is moving in that sphere now, and I'm hoping that residents will be more responsible. Citizens can be more responsible, not only looking at government and local authorities to take up these responsibility. If we keep cleaning this place, the aesthetic will become very good, and we will encourage tourism. And at the same time, when other foreigners come to the country, they'll see the Guyana is a place that they can come back and visit.
Additionally, a single mother of Les Beholden Blackbush Polder, Region 6, has received keys to a brand new 2-bedroom home as part of President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali's Men on Mission initiative to assist vulnerable persons.
And we are once again seeing a very robust housing program under our government. And although we are seeing that so many homes and so many houses and house lots are being distributed across the country, we still have vulnerable people in the population, and the President has set aside this program, Men on Mission, so that we can help these vulnerable groups in the community.
To efficiently execute their jobs and be well-rounded in the agriculture subsectors, Extension officers from Regions 3, 4, and 5 are undergoing an agricultural extension reorganization 3-day training program.
I hope that we can have an extension service that is most responsive to the needs of the farmer. If we want to develop this sector, if you want this sector to be robust, then you, the extension officer, have to drive it.
The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, donated various farming tools to the Ministry of Agriculture. The tools are to be distributed to small-scale farmers to increase their output.
This here will go a far way in helping rural communities, and that is what we are doing. We are trying to modernize the agriculture sector. Many of those villages need input like these. Those are far-flung communities across this country. What we are doing, when you give them these items, they will help to develop their village. They'll help to develop their community. And also what we have been doing, we have been building a number of agro-processing facilities in these communities so that we are trying to bring them on par with the farmers on the coastline, and the farmer on the coast, so that the same kind of opportunities that exist on the coastline would exist in the interior location, so that we can give them that kind of facility so that they can contribute and increase their livelihood, increase their income.
Also, Minister Mustafa evaluated the ongoing infrastructural works on the much-anticipated hydroponic project, which is being integrated into the current Shade House project at the National Agricultural and Extension Institute, NARI. The project is being executed by Israeli company Carlico Inc.
And I'm hoping that, according to the manager here, he said by mid-October they should have plants in this 2,000 square meter. And here will be a lot of hydroponics techniques will be used here to produce leafy vegetables, which they will export out of Guyana in the Caribbean and North America mostly.
The Ministry of Amerindian Affairs hosted its fitness walk in celebration of Amerindian Heritage Month 2023.
Today, we are building a Guyana that must be healthy. We must be fit, and we must be responsible, disciplined, and of course, hardworking. But we need citizens of this country who will always be healthy. Our nation is blooming into a very exciting period, and we would want to have our population standing alongside the development, all the different transitional changes that is taking place.
To better analyze and treat diabetic patients, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with Mount Sinai, launched a training on diabetes for health officials in the country. The Trainer of Trainer program is to introduce the new standards of diabetes guidelines for primary healthcare workers.
We are looking at what are the standards we need to put in place. So one of the things that you would notice in these new guidelines is shifting from just using the glucometers to using the glycated hemoglobin as one of the standards.
More residents of Region 6 will be able to benefit from training programs offered by government, as 3 heavy-duty equipment operation training programs were launched in the region.
Every training program that we deliver that will instill in you and impart in you the relevant skills to fill those jobs is an opportunity that's being created for you, but you have to do your part and take advantage of those opportunities.
Every person that we train as a heavy-duty equipment operator, they get a license, because training without a license, you will not get a job, I can assure you.
In light of the Inter-American Development Bank IDB's recent report commending the decrease in Guyana's unemployment rate, Minister Hamilton says it reflects the implementation of government policies.
What it speaks to is the policies of the PPP-CIVIC government working. And that is, so the report and the findings should recognize, people should recognize that we could not be where we are commended by the IDB and others if from 2020 August, the policies that our government we have enacted and the measures we have put in place for the economy, for the private sector, for the citizens.
192 residents of Region 6 are currently undergoing several technical and vocational skills training programs being offered by the Board of Industrial Training, BIT. 85 persons are being trained to operate heavy-duty equipment, while 107 more persons are being trained in various skilled areas. The Board of Industrial Training, BIT, has been successful in empowering women to step out of their comfort zones and become certified and employed in male-dominated sectors. Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton said the focus is on encouraging women to become involved in hard skills, which means that there is more inclusion in programs such as heavy-duty equipment operation and welding and fabrication.
You will have here shore base, expansion of wharf, and all those kinds of things are going to happen there. And sometimes people ask, how do I fit into all this oil and gas they're talking about? Right now, what you're training to do will allow you to fit in.
As the Cricket Carnival season is coming into full swing, Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Oniju Walrun, journeyed to the Chedijagan International Airport to welcome visitors to the country.
As you know, this is a part of our diversification of our tourism product, whereas we have events and sporting events and other kinds of cultural events. And this entire Cricket Carnival season will highlight fashion, highlight Guyanese arts, highlight our food, and it will highlight the music that is so integral part of the Guyanese culture and indeed the Caribbean culture.
As Guyana's tourism product continues to expand and government is continuously working to provide more accommodation facilities for the growing number of visitors to Guyana, investors are showing interest in constructing luxury eco-lodges.
There has been a lot of interest involved, but as government, we still have to be careful to make sure that people are not languishing with the project. So we want to make sure that the projects are ready to go forward. So that is what has delayed somewhat the actual announcement and start turning, but it's happening, and there has been a lot of interest generated.
Hundreds of residents in Matthews Ridge in the Matakai Subdistrict Region 1 are now benefiting from a $244 million concrete road at Haven Hill. The new road, which was commissioned by Minister Colin Crowell, is a realization of a commitment made by President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali during his visit to the area in last year.
Under the Ministry of Public Works, there's another portion or budgetary resources that will be made available for continuation of roads. So on this year, for which they've just approved, for which has just been approved, we will find another road being done, at least about 1 kilometer budgeted for, and that is concrete. And in the Matakai sub-region itself, by the end of this year, one can see over about $675 million being invested in concrete roads between here in Matthews Ridge, as well as continuation in Ornock or Port Kaituma.
Minister Crowell expressed the government's commitment to enhancing critical infrastructure in hinterland communities to provide relief to citizens.
The People's Progressive Party Civic will continue to work hard and ensure that as quickly as possible, as more resources become available, we will put more into the community development and the betterment for the lives of our people.
This brings us to the end of this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related stories, do log on to our website at dpi.gov.gy and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.